Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the 12 Days of Yule. Tonight I want to go over the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th night of Yule. The 5th night of Yule we're going to talk about is the Feast of Air. Tonight the goddess of healing, Air, takes center stage. On this night, healing blessings are done for the sick and give honor to Air, hoping for a healthy year to come. As a handmaiden of Frigga, Air was the healer of the gods and goddesses. It was her responsibility to teach the science of healing to women. She is called on for any aspect of healing. Air is a goddess of purity and love. She is willing to help any and all, but if you do not take her advice, she can be a bit sarcastic in her responses. So tonight, we will be asking for her blessing for our family, friends, and to all that read these words. Health is an important part of our lives that, frankly, we take for granted at times. The noble virtue that we are going to associate with tonight is perseverance. Without the willingness to go on, no matter the horrors we endure, there is no true life worth living. Without the perseverance to go on, you are just a shell ambling through life. Perseverance gives us not only the will to live, but to thrive. We need to be reminded at times that just the act of carrying on is a victory. As we look into the next year and the challenges that are ahead, I make a commitment to persevere, to just keep going. You must have a purpose, a steadfastness to accomplish what needs to get done, regardless of the obstacles in your path. It is a steady persistence and in adhering to a course of action, belief, or purpose. Okay. Now the 6th night of Yule is the Feast of Thor. Tonight we celebrate Thor, the god of every man, protector of Midgard, slayer of Jotuns. Can I see that, Bugga? Thank you. We feast to the thunder god and give thanks for his protection the past year, and we give offerings for the blessings in the new year. Thor is the red-bearded god of every man. He is the husband of Sif. He is a mighty god and the only one that can intimidate Loki. He drives a cart or chariot pulled by 2 goats, Tangnosnir and Tangrisnir, because he is too large to ride a horse. His footfalls are so powerful, in fact, that if he crossed the Bifrost, it would shatter beneath him. He is the wielder of Mjolnir and the god of thunder and lightning. He owns a oak staff, along with the belt of strength and iron gloves that was gifted to him. Thor is the Jotun killer. Many of the myths regarding Thor are about him doing battle with a Jotun or Jotun king. Loki was often a traveling companion, as were his 2 servants. Thor does not battle Jotunkind out of malice. Most of the Jotuns that he has slain did him some wrong first, but for the survival of man and godkind. Though he is usually even-tempered, Thor can be given in to fits of rage. During this time is when he is the most dangerous of foes. Thor is also a hallower of marriage. During the wedding ceremony, a carved Mjolnir would be placed on the bride's lap, so as to make their wedding sacred and bless the couple with fertility. He is also a god of the homestead and can be called upon to bless new homes. Offerings of food, mead, stout, and or beer are all very good to give Thor, as he is said to have an insatiable appetite. The Yule goat is a holiday tradition that is popular in Scandinavia. Based off the goats that pull Thor's chariot, the Yule goat is typically made of straw. The story goes that Thor killed his goats and fed them to the gods and goddesses during Yule. Feeling remorseful the next day, he used Mjolnir to resurrect the goats that had served him so well. In ancient times, Yule goat would visit the village at the start of Yule, making sure preparations for the holiday were finished. In the early days, the Yule goat demanded presents from people, but this changed over time to the goat becoming the giver of gifts. The Yule goat is still a popular tradition. The noble virtue of fidelity is the center focus for today. Fidelity is not only an honor or obligation to your family and friends, even if you don't agree with them. It also requires you to keep in mind how what you do affects your family, group, kindred, and friends. Fidelity and frith go hand in hand. Now we're on the 7th night of Yule, which is the feast of Scotty and Uller. Tonight is the feast of Scotty and Uller. Scotty and Uller are winter deities. On this night we honor the gods of winter, looking for blessings during the season. Scotty is a Jotun that came to Asgard looking for recompense for the death of her father, who was killed in the attempt to steal Iduna and her apples. Her name means shadow or scythe, and she is a goddess of winter. Even though she is a Jotun, she is counted among the gods and goddesses. Her home of Thrymheim is located in Jotunheim, yet it is counted among the holy dwellings in the lore. She is the deity of the snowshoes. Scotty is depicted as harshly beautiful on skis or snowshoes with a bow. Like Odin, the wolf is holy to her. Scotty first appeared to the Aesir in her aspect of warrior maiden. She was fully armored and ready to get revenge for the death of her father. For this reason, she is also the goddess of revenge. The gods of Asgard offer her Wergild, and she asks for the impossible to make her laugh. In order to fulfill this request, Loki ties a rope to a goat's beard and the other end to his testicles. He starts a tug of war with the goat. After almost castrating himself, Scotty ends up laughing. There are some that believe the mountain goat is Scotty in animal form, as it is a beast of the mountains where she makes her home. Since she was made to laugh, Scotty accepted the offer to be wed to one of the gods. The catch was that she had to choose her husband by seeing only his feet. She hoped to pick the beautiful Balder, but ended up choosing Njord. The marriage would not last, as Scotty was not happy living by the sea, and Njord did not like to live by the blustery cold of the mountains. Scotty also had part to play in the binding of Loki. It was she that placed the serpent above the eyes of Loki when he was bound to that poison, so that the poison would drip into his eyes. This is but one reason she is seen as a goddess of death. She also has a close ties with Odin, and is said to have been the mother of his children, as some of the Jarls of old are said to be from their lineage. Her main worship was in Scandinavia, where some saw her as the wife of Uller. She is also the goddess of huntress, skiers, and wild beasts, and independent women. Uller was the god of winter and was known to prefer the cold, icy days of winter months of the year. The son of Sif and the stepson to Thor, Uller was an archer so good that none could match. He was usually depicted as fair to look upon with a bow and skis. Uller is said to have had been clad with thick furs that served to keep him warm in the harsh climate that he loved. He is also known to fare through the countryside on snowshoes and glide over lakes on skates. He was a lover of the chase, of the hunt, and took delight in caring little for snow or ice. Ullr's hall was called Dalir or Udales. Ullr is said to be the god that gave mankind the ability to ski. No one could match his skill on skis. He was an accomplished rider as well, although there is no single steed associated with him. Ullr's colors are rich green of yew needles and the red of its berries. For this reason, the yew tree is one of the symbols along with the bow and skis. Ullr is believed to be a peer of Odin and well loved of the Aesir. It has been said during Odin's absence from Asgard during the wild hunt that Ullr ascends to the position of king of the gods. Some have said that he takes full power over Midgard and Asgard during that time. It has also been said that he takes Frigg as his wife during these months. At Ostera, Odin returns to run off Ullr and return to his rightful place as king of the Aesir. Alright. The noble virtue that is associated with today is self-reliance. We should seek to make our own way. There will be times when all of you can count on is yourself, and you must be prepared for that. It also means that we are self-starters. In the life of gods, help those who help themselves. Self-reliance is the basis of this, knowing that you'll always have yourself to count on and can help you overcome many obstacles. Merry Yule and happy feast of Scotty and Ullr. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the last few days of Yule, and I will be back tomorrow with the 8th night of Yule. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed.